Have you ever felt like you're playing a game without knowing the rules? The truth is, we are. Every day, you make a choice to think for yourself or to live within a reality designed by someone else. Welcome to the hidden architecture of power. Imagine society not as a collection of people, but as a complex, multi-layered game. At the very top are the creators. They don't just play. They design the entire board, crafting the rules that define what is possible and what is not. Below them are the players, those who understand the game and compete for advantage within its boundaries. Then come the assistants, who help maintain the system, often unknowingly. And finally, there are the figures. This is the vast majority, the pawns on the board who mistake their mere presence for meaningful participation. They move as they are told, reacting to the immediate, unaware of the grander strategy unfolding around them. They believe they are free, yet their every step is guided by an invisible hand. This isn't a conspiracy, it's a system. A system so vast and intricate that its very architecture remains hidden in plain sight. The first step to changing the game is realizing you're in one.
So,
Are you a creator, a player, an assistant, or just a figure on the board? The answer to that question changes everything. To understand anything, you need two things: the word and the form. The word is the label we use, like tree or freedom. The form is the actual thing. It represents the physical tree, the lived experience of freedom. But what happens when the people who create the words are separate from the people who experience the forms? This is where the deepest level of control begins. It's what we call foundational power. This isn't the power to win the game. It's the power that designed the board itself. It's the invisible hand that determines what feels normal, what feels strange, and what feels completely impossible, all before you even have a chance to form a single thought. Foundational power operates beneath your consciousness. It shapes your perceptions, sets the boundaries of your imagination, and preselects the questions you're allowed to ask. It ensures that certain ideas never even occur to you, because the very language and concepts needed to think them have been defined out of existence. It's like being in a room where the architect decided which doors you can see and which remain hidden behind seamless walls. You believe you are choosing your path freely, but your choices were limited long before you arrived. This is the subtle genius of the system. It doesn't need to force your hand when it can shape the mind that moves it. To maintain this game, a hierarchy of control exists, a ladder of governance with 6 distinct levels. Let's start from the top. Level 6, the most visible and yet the weakest. Military power. It's loud, it's obvious stanks in the streets, soldiers on guard. But it can only govern bodies, not minds. True, lasting control requires something far more subtle. So we move down to level 5, genetics. This is control through substances. Think about it. Alcohol, tobacco, processed foods engineered to be addictive. They are tools used to dull awareness, to pacify the population, and to keep minds foggy and distracted from the bigger picture. Below that, at level 4, is the economy. This is governance through debt and financial necessity. When you spend your entire life working just to pay the bills, you have little time or energy left to question the system that put you there. Your economic reality becomes your cage. Deeper still, at level 3, we find ideology. Here, permissible thought is defined by mass media and cultural institutions. They set the agenda, frame the debates, and decide which ideas are mainstream and which are radical. They create the illusion of a diverse conversation while ensuring all dialogues stay within acceptable bounds. At level 2, things get even more profound. History. The strategic construction of collective memory. As the saying goes, he who controls the past controls the future. By carefully curating the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and where we came from, the system can direct our path forward. And finally, at the very foundation, level 1, worldview. This is the deepest, most invisible cage of all. It's the set of unquestioned assumptions about reality itself. It governs your perception of time, your sense of self, and your understanding of what is real. It's the water the fish swims in, completely unaware of its existence. This is the ultimate control, because you can't fight a prison you don't know you're in. So how does this entire system, this intricate architecture of power, actually function day to day? The core mechanism is surprisingly simple. It's an algorithm of the lie. And it works like this. Reality is intentionally split into two opposing narratives. Two teams, two ideologies, to seemingly irreconcilable points of view. Think left versus right, conservative versus liberal, us versus them. The population is then sorted and pushed into one of these two camps. The media, the political discourse, the cultural conversations, everything is designed to reinforce this division. The purpose of this manufactured conflict is to trap everyone in a state of horizontal struggle. We fight our neighbors, our colleagues, the people on the other side of the screen. We pour all of our energy, our passion, and our anger into fighting each other, debating endlessly within the confines of the frame that has been provided for us. While we are busy battling horizontally, we never think to look up. We never question the frame itself. We never ask who built the arena, who set the rules of the fight, and who benefits from our perpetual conflict. The algorithm of the lie keeps the population distracted, divided, and powerless. It turns potential allies into bitter enemies, ensuring that the figures on the board spend their lives fighting each other, instead of challenging the players or the creators who designed the game. It is the master stroke of control, to engineer a conflict so absorbing that no one ever notices the cage. So, how do we escape? How do we break free from a game whose rules are written into the very fabric of our reality? The answer is not a revolution in the streets, but a revolution in consciousness. The first act of true freedom is simply to name the frame, to see the game for what it is. Power thrives in the shadows. It is strongest when it is invisible and unnamed. But the moment you see it, the moment you can point to the hidden architecture and say, "I see you," its hold on you begins to weaken. When you recognize the 6 levels of governance, from the worldview that shapes your thoughts to the economic pressures that guide your actions, you begin to reclaim your agency. When you understand the algorithm of the lie, you can choose to step outside the manufactured conflict. You are no longer just a pawn reacting to moves. You become an observer, capable of seeing the whole board. This awareness is not a single event, but a continuous process of awakening. It's the commitment to question everything, especially the things you hold to be most certain. It's the courage to think for yourself, even when the world is screaming at you to pick a side. Remember, the most sophisticated prison is the one you don't know you're in. But awareness is the key. Awareness is the light that exposes the shadows. And awareness is the beginning of the end of the designed reality. The game only continues as long as we agree to play. Thanks for listening. If this resonated with you, follow for more explorations into the nature of our world.